welcome expats. What a time. You know, I've just been watching this thing about illegal immigration. I guess in New York, they're pushing kids out of school so they can house migrants in the school. That's crazy. You know, there's something weird about this whole thing. I, in the past, have spent a lot of time around people who have crossed the border illegally in California. I've heard all the stories about how it works. I knew, the coyote business. And, the thing that seems strange to me is typically when people come across the border, there's a plan. Like they have somewhere they're going. There's family they're going to. There's some of them, they'll spend some time working off their debt, I guess, to the people that help them get across the border. They had all kinds of stuff. It's not all just bad, scary stuff. Some of it is they're going around selling stuff on the street, a little stand. Maybe there's the elote man, we called it, the guy that sells the corn with, you've probably seen it in Nacho Libre. Anyone who's seen that movie, the corn with the stuff on it, delicious. But, they have people that go out and they work it off. But at the very least, there's a plan when they come across the border. This is bizarre. Why would they be staying in a school in New York City? What kind of migrants are these? Are they just, you don't just come to the United States without a plan in mind. You don't just leave your home without some idea of what you're going to do. Especially in the case here, we've got people coming from all over the world. We've got people from Africa. I was surprised here in this small place to encounter French-speaking African people at the Walmart and Kroger the other day. That was really bizarre. Typically people they don't come here. There's not really much here. But it just has me thinking, what is really going on here? If it's getting to the point where they're pushing people out of school, which is what they're doing in New York, they're telling the kids they have to stay home and they're going to do tele-school or something like that, something is really, really wrong. There's something really bizarre going on here, and we really need to get the border under control. In either case, I have to go pick up my son for an appointment. Another thing. Who gets to make the decision about which school closes? I believe the one that's closed this time around is in Brooklyn. Yeah, why not close the rich people's school? I don't know. Maybe it's a nice school. I'm sure it is a nice school. If your kids go to school there, then sorry, they decided to close the border. But something even stranger with this whole situation. So, if you were a migrant, if you were illegally here, why would you go where the government was telling you? Wouldn't you just go off on your own? Are these people prisoners? Is that what's going on? They're being ferried back and forth between some migrant camp and a school gymnasium or something like that? What's this? This is really bizarre. Again, usually people come across with a plan. They have somewhere to go, something to do. These people are they prisoners? Is that what's going on? Are these people being held prisoners so that they can be used as some kind of political thing?
But there might be
coming out of the cave one time. He's in his appointment now. Oh, man. I really have to wonder. I feel like there's some serious civil rights violations taking place here. Human rights, I guess I should say. It's just so bizarre. Are they really keeping them in camps? It's just strange. Like I said, if somebody came here as an illegal immigrant, they typically don't go to the government. The idea is to try and avoid contact with the government so that they can stay. But, I guess in this situation, there's something else going on, which makes me wonder. Is it that they're prisoners, or is it something else? Nobody seems to be asking that question. What's really going on here with these migrants, or whatever you want to call them? This is not normal. This is not the way that it works normally. It's not good that the border is open at all, but there's something really, really strange about what's happening right now. I got that out of the way. Getting some Made a quick stop to get some dinner for us. Now cooking, of course. You know, it's really weird, this illegal immigration thing. Like I said, it's like they're keeping them in camps. They seem to be keeping them prisoner. What is their ultimate goal here? I know a lot of people are saying, like, well, it's, you know, the city of New York or the state of New York. I'm not sure which one is the one closing the school and putting the people in there. But I heard somebody else point out, you know, that illegal immigrants, these migrants, I guess that's the jurisdiction of the federal government. And apparently the city of New York has been in communication with the Biden White House to figure out what to do with this. So I guess they're taking part in closing schools and coordinating what's happening with these prisoner migrants that are being kept in camps and schools. Just weird stuff. Yes, it was spaghetti. And I am eating it with chopsticks. Well, my son is asleep, so I have kind of come up here where hopefully I won't disturb him. Oh, gosh. You know, sitting there reading stories to my son, a lot of this stuff about illegal immigration and everything that's been taking place in the country as of late kind of had a second to sink in and for me to think about what it all means. I guess you have that term black pill, you know, you have the red pill and the blue pill, and then there's this black pill where you just feel like everything is hopeless anyway. Sometimes I feel like that, especially when I really stop to consider the number of people coming across the border and the fact that the federal government is facilitating all of it. I mean, we go to the airport, and since September 11th, a lot of people, if you're younger, you probably don't know this, but you used to be able to go right up to the gate to wait for, let's say, your family members coming back from a trip somewhere or anything like that. You're going to meet an old friend or whatever it is. You can meet them right at the gate. There was no, like, well, you have to have a ticket to be able to go past this point. Security was quite relaxed compared to what it is now. There was no back scanner thing or any of that, or take your shoes off or your belt off. And I look at what's happening where they're literally just moving people without identification of any kind past the security that they have in place for all of us and putting them on planes and flying them around the country without knowing who they are. Supposedly, all of these security measures have been in place to protect us from terrorism. And I look at it and I say, what's the point of the security if you just move everyone past it, that you don't even know who they are? You're just moving them past it anyway. Aren't those the most likely people that would be, I don't know, the ones that you're supposed to be stopping? Why do we have to go through all of this ridiculousness when you're just going to go and circumvent it anyway to move criminals for your own, I guess, human trafficking or whatever it is that's taking place? And to the tunes of thousands and thousands of people. I mean, entire small cities are being created on a monthly basis with the amount of people that are coming in. It's no wonder that New York City is overrun. We were probably starting to see them everywhere. And I think, is this the end of our civilization as we know it? Is this going to be the collapse? I used to think that the United States, you know, is kind of unique among nations because people just kind of get absorbed into our culture, whatever it is. I kind of looked at it as being like the Borg, you know, on Star Trek. We just assimilate everything that we get. But these people that are coming in, I don't know if they're really interested in assimilating into the society. You know, it's been in the past, like I mentioned a little bit ago, the illegal aliens that I have had communication with, which is a lot. You'd be surprised, but they were coming here because they wanted to be here. They wanted a piece of what this country is. And maybe, you know, they had hope that even though at the time they were working and sending money back, but the hope was that eventually maybe they could bring their family here and they can have a better life. I don't know if these people that are coming now have those same ambitions.
I feel like if they're just coming here and being kept in camps or whatever it is that they're doing with them, they're coming from all over the place with banners and flags, and I don't think they even know what they're doing. Like I said, in the past, people have come with a purpose. They're going to something. They're going to do something. They're going to work somewhere. They're coming to family. And now it's just absolute insanity. They're coming and living in camps. They're not going anywhere in particular. They're being bussed all over the country, flown illegally, while you and I have to suffer this ridiculousness every time you go to the airport and try to go somewhere. And believe me, they track everything you do. When you're using your ID to fly, they know. They know when you come in and out of the country. They know when you're flying here or there. They can easily look it up. And yet, here's this group of people that we know nothing about. We don't know if they're good or bad or what their intentions are. And they get to just go right past the security. They don't even have to have identification. They don't even know who's on the plane. And then they fly them all over the place. It's hard to see every law that we consider, everything that we consider sacred as a society. You just think of like the Epstein stuff. And it's just treated like it doesn't even matter, like it's a joke or some kind of a crazy conspiracy theory, even though we have these court documents naming these people. I mean, to anyone who has a brain, you look at it and, Epstein, he committed suicide in the jail. Yeah, and who believes that? I mean, it's right in your face. They just throw it right in your face. It's like nothing even matters. You see what's happening with Hunter Biden, and there's all these people on the internet, like you talk about it, and they're like, oh, what about Trump's sons and Trump this and Trump that? And it's like, what about any of it? If anybody committed a crime, why is it not being prosecuted, and why does it even matter what political party they are? Do we hold anything sacred at all anymore? It's like society's just falling apart. Like this is the end. The collapse is coming. I don't know what it's going to look like in the future. I sometimes think about it. Again, reading stories to my son, I sometimes think, like, what is it going to be like? What is it going to be like in a short time for him as he gets older? I got to enjoy, at least for a little while, some of the normalness of society. Going to work, trying to get by. It didn't last long before 2008 threw everything on its head, and my life really changed. But at least I got a taste of it, what having a stable society can actually be like. For those of you who are younger, you kind of grew up in this, maybe the back end of the millennial group, which is what I'm a part of, or the Gen Z people, this isn't how things have been. I mean, it's terrible that it's come to this, but this is where we're at. Maybe I'm, I guess, just thinking about it, it's got me feeling a little bit dark about the future. All you preppers out there, the people that have been figuring out how to survive on things, good for you. You'll probably find it very useful in times to come. Because even if, somehow we get through this, I don't know what's going to happen with society. Everything is kind of broken. Everything is kind of shattered right now. And I don't know how we come back from this. I really don't. Donald Trump, I don't know if I could say that I even fully trust Donald Trump to be the guy that's going to come. Again, I mentioned this in the last video. You have to be careful who you place your trust in. Don't ever put your faith in a human being. I guess if you believe in God, you can put your faith there and trust that whatever happens, that somehow, it'll be what is supposed to happen. But I get the feeling that a lot of people throughout history have felt that way. And if you think that things can't go horribly wrong, just ask, we can't ask them, but I'm sure that the Romans felt the same way. I'm sure the Egyptians felt the same way. I'm sure every dynasty that came along in the Chinese long history probably felt the same way. I guess we can take comfort in the fact that China still exists after 5,000 years or so. It's taken on new forms, but what will become of us? I mean, I know it sounds ridiculous, but sometimes I feel like we're moving into a new dark age. I sure hope not, but it really doesn't look good. Everything just seems to be crumbling all around us. Oh, well, it's getting late, so I guess I might as well read some of the comments here from the last video. There's only a couple of them that are showing up. If you did leave comments and they, for whatever reason, are not there, I'm sorry. Sometimes that's how YouTube is. It just doesn't like to show me everything. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. Sprotswell 42, they definitely think they are something else. I will just do my 12s because I don't want to be crazy. I'm not entirely sure what the 12s means, but yeah, do whatever you have to. Don't think too much about the craziness that's happening in the world. I mean, of course, watch it because it affects all of us, but don't let it get in the way of doing what you can to make your own life better. Because, there's just so much going on. Yeah, we don't want to lose track of our families and everything, our obligations that we have. All right. And from Andy Foxy, one of the longtime listeners of the channel over there in Hong Kong, one of these days I will get back over there. Sometimes I think, maybe I should just give up on all this. If it's all going to come collapsing down, I feel like I would rather be in a place like China than here. I don't know what this is going to turn into. Over there, I kind of know what to expect. But anyway, I'm joking. Andy Foxy, I'm glad the video didn't pop up in my feed. Yeah, that the video. I still can't remember exactly what the tagline was from the video, but the alpha male with the trans woman. Yeah, fortunately, I haven't had those popping up in my feed. I got lucky, and it's still just Peppa Pig and other random stuff. So I lucked out. I guess the algorithm knows me enough to know that that's not what I'm interested in. It doesn't seem to work that way with anything else. Anything else, if I watch one video, then it just shows me nothing but that. But fortunately, watching that did not have that effect. But yeah. Oh, by the way, the pork chops that didn't go so well in the other video, I tried them again. This time I didn't buy the meat at Walmart, and they turned out pretty good. My son, of course, loved them, but he loved the other ones just as much, but not nearly as tough, tasted a little bit better. Maybe it just had something to do with the way that I cooked it. I don't know. If any of you shop at Walmart regularly, I suspect that it had something to do with the meat being frozen for a long period of time or something like that. That's kind of what it made me think of, like it had been in the freezer for too long, and then they just kind of threw it out there to thaw out. But yeah, interesting stuff anyway. I better end it there. Yeah, by the way, you guys go ahead and leave your comments if you want to hear them in the video, my response to them. And yeah, I guess we'll end it there on a very dark note. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully the world is not going into another dark age or something like that. And things will get cleaned up. That's what I really am hoping for. Maybe we can get somebody in the government that can clean things up and turn it around so that the world isn't the way that it is right now. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. We'll see you guys in the next one. ไปพะวงหลงเฝ้าสาวเจ้าบางปะกงหาหวยงงหลงเกอหาโอเวรกรรมจำพรากจากไปไกลตา